Hi, I'm Gracia Robison, and welcome to Mount Nebo State Park.
Nebo is the second oldest state park and has over 3,000 acres of land to it. It rises 1,350 feet above the Arkansas River Valley. With over 100 acres of tabletop portions, it is a main destination for tourists. Inhabited by white settlers since pre-Civil War years, the city of Mount Nebo was first laid out with streets during the 1800s. The history behind the naming of Mount Nebo starts with a man named Lewis C. White of Dardanelle. He owned land around the springs of the Bench Trail, and according to the folklore, his wife named the mountain after the biblical Mount Nebo from which Moses saw in the Promised Land.
So believe it or not, before Mount Nebo became a state park, it was actually a big city with over 5,000 people. In 1924, the social and political game changed when women became a part of the government. In fact, the women were running against their fathers, their brothers, and even sometimes their husbands. And all the women won. This was huge because in the 1920s, the 19th Amendment was just recently passed, allowing women to vote. So this just added and made the women's government of Mount Nebo become even bigger.
In 1918, the thriving reputation abruptly ended when the popular Summit Park Hotel caught fire and burnt down to the ground. With no insurance or money, the hotel was never rebuilt. Now you can see the Mount Summit House that has been rebuilt on top of the ground of the Mount Summit Hotel. In 1926, in an effort to repopularize the mountain, the Dardanelle Chambers of Commerce proposed to make Mount Nebo State Park. In 1928, over 500 acres of the land was donated to the commission by the state. After 1929 and the Great Depression, and more land required, Mount Nebo State Park was birthed into existence.
And the move for some water? The people who lived here up on Mount Nebo in the early 1900s were. The myth goes that if you drank the Mount Nebo water, it had this magical healing power. And whether you were physically sick or mentally ill, if you drank it for more than 30 days, you would be healed. Which explains why the port of Dardanelle saw over 4 steamboats a week from Little Rock, because people wanted to come and explore and experience this magical healing water.
And to this day, with campsites, hiking trails, and abounding plant and animal life, the state park is thriving. You can still see remnants of homes from the 1800s today.